Okay, in this section, I'm going to explain about few topics, that is object class. We will have a uh, closer look on object class. We know that object class is parent of every class. All the classes, whatever you write or whatever existing classes in Java, those are having object class as its parent class. Then we talk about inheritance. Inheritance is very important concept. We'll talk about abstract classes, then we interface, then we will take a closer look of the class, that is class itself. So in Java we have class. The name of the class is the class. Then we will take a look on wrapper classes. Then we will explain about enums. Okay, so let's go to detailing. Okay, so object class is the parent of every class. So object class has few methods which are very commonly used. uh, First one is object the constructor. So whenever you create the you create the object of any class, so the constructor of object will be called. Then we have registered native, where basically you are trying to access the native methods which are written in some other language. Suppose you have some other language, say C. Suppose you have written some method over there that you can register in Java and use it in Java. Get class is the method which will return the class of the object. Okay, suppose you create one employee class, so and create the object on that, so you can call that object dot get class, so it will give the class of that class object. It has hash code and equals. These two methods are required when you are trying to play with collection, where you are trying to store multiple objects. So to distinguish one object to another object, you need to have a hash code and equals. Clone method is something that will help us to get the clone object. So once you create the clone, it will be copy of the object, existing object, okay, which has all the properties of the parent object, but the instance of the cloned object will be not same as the parent of instance of the parent object. So it will be just the copy of the parent object. ToString is the method which will give the uh, value of the content of the class. So many you might have seen many times where I have overridden the ToString method. So ToString method, you can provide the custom message in your ToString. So whenever you print a object instance of the class, the automatically ToString will be called. So if you don't override that ToString, so you will get the address of the object, uh, reference of the object in the memory, that value in the form of numeric value you will get. Okay, notify all, these are the methods. Notify all, wait and wait. Like these four methods you will use when you go with the thread programming. So when you're trying to communicate one object to another object in form of threads, that time you need notify all, wait methods. There are three flavor of wait methods, and we have finalized method. Finalize method in the last video we have seen, it is to uh, basically uh, ask Java virtual machine to call this method while doing the garbage collection. Okay, so these are the very much methods in the object class. So whenever you will use these methods, you can come to know that you are using the methods of the class. So some in interview questions people ask like uh, who owns the methods like notify, notify all, wait, finalize, clone. So you can say that the object is the class which owns these methods, because every class is extends this object class, so these methods will be available for any class. So if you see here, n denotes here in native, it can be used in native, s it is static, and f it is final. So when I say final, I will tell you detail about final methods in going slides. Okay, so wait notify used for thread communication, equal hash code to put get object in the collections, get class to use to find the class on runtime. So suppose you're at any time you have some object, okay, you can easily find the what is the class of that object. Clone generally used for prototyping the object, so that you whenever you need to copy the property of one object to another one, so you can do the cloning of the object. I will explain how cloning in detail. Okay, finalize is used by garbage collection. Okay, so let's talk about more about native. So native is very rare kind of uses. Occasionally you may want to call a subroutine that is written in some other language, say C. So Java provides a native keyword which is used to declare native code method. Suppose you have created one native method, so you can declare that method native in Java and load those native methods in library and use it. So to declare a native method, what you need to do, you just need to prefix the modifier as a native. So there will be no definition of the method, it's just declaration of method. Once you declare a native method, you must write the native method and follow some steps in your Java code to execute it. Let's take one example. So example, like suppose you are writing a class called native demo, and in the main method you are creating the object of this class, and you are calling one method of this class, that is test. So if you see here, you have declared that test, you have not defined here. So somewhere it is defined, that is in your native libraries, that method is defined, so you are calling here, so you're just declaring here test method. Okay, and now you are loading those libraries, native demo libraries, where this test method has been written in your static block. So when this class will be loaded, static block will be executed, so it will load, system will load the libraries of demo class from your native source, and once that test method is available from that library, then you can call into the main method. That's how it works.